says go live, and we are live. Biz, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How's it going? Glad to see you back after Swampfest. Both have all our limbs, both our eyes. So,
We made it out unscathed. Well, at least I made it out unscathed. I don't know how you made it out.
we drove there, so that picture going through all that chaos, and then you have a drive back. But it was good because we separated it. We stayed like 3 days in New Orleans, which is cool. I've never been there, so it was
Yeah.
cool to figure out.
You guys were parked like literally one of the closest vehicles possible to all of the action.
Well, I was just going by like I was there 2 years ago, and that's where the fast and loose guys were set up, and I'm like very much a creature of habit, so I'm like, okay, that's where I was before. I want to get under the tree where there's some shade when that sun comes popping up in the morning, and then and then kind of everyone that kind of came in just kind of settled around our group, and we were like, oh man, we're closer to the chaos this year than prior.
Yeah, at one point there was definitely fireworks going off, probably like 30 feet from the van you guys brought.
Oh yeah, it was nonstop. It was probably 3 days, like a total of 10 hours sleep, like trying to mortars going off at all hours. Like
Oh, yeah.
you got to do it sometimes though. It was enjoyable.
That's Swampfest. You go there expecting that.
Yeah, if you go expecting to stay clean and not get good sleep, then you're going for the wrong reason.
Yeah, at one point I made a comment about like, you think this is a safe place to stand? This was like the first one we went to, and someone was like, if you're looking for safety here, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed I didn't bring clear glasses for. I don't know if you stuck around when everything was really getting nuts, but I had like my dark glasses on just in case the mortar went in my eye, and it was kind of hard to see, but I still kept them on.
Oh, yeah. So that was an OSS trip for you guys?
Yeah, we left from Long Beach, pinned it straight to Houston, which is 20. Took us like 28 hours.
Jeez.
So yeah, we went straight to Houston, stayed there for a couple days and rode. But yeah, on the drive there, it was like I usually fall asleep while driving, and I was like, I'll stay up in the front seat as long as I don't have to drive. And like they do like 4 hour shifts, so I went through like five different people of just like staying up. For some reason, I could just stay up in the front seat and we bullshit and road stuff. So other people would sleep, and then people would come in. It was like a whole like shift.
Dude, I don't know how you can do that. I fall asleep, I'm just passing out the whole time.
I don't know. I still get like I'm 42 now, and going on a trip, I still like have that excitement, anticipation. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still get like, I don't know. I still get just as stoked to be going somewhere. So that's like my adrenaline's running and stuff. Like.
Uh-huh.
And
It doesn't matter how much adrenaline I have. It after an hour, I'm like, oh god, oh, we gotta pull over.
yeah, that's me driving, but passenger, I'm fine.
You know what? That's actually true. There's definitely a difference there. So, you guys stopped in Houston. Then did you go straight to Swampfest from Houston?
Yeah. We stopped in Houston, rode for a couple days, and there's actually a couple like we kind of did a couple behind the scene vlogs of it, so those are out. So filmed for a little bit, and then went straight from Houston, to Orlando, and then we're like keeping all the clips for like a little small like.
Nice. So, did you guys ride the brick quarters?
No, we did not. We kind of just like winged it on our own. Just kind of like saw what we saw and rode. It actually worked out, especially for the younger guys like Andy Garcia and Riley. Mills killed it. Like you put stuff in front of those guys and they'll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Friggin' Garcia. That guy.
Yeah.
He's like a machine.
Yeah, you give them a little flat, make gold out of it. So it's cool.
Yeah. And then you said you went to New Orleans.
Yeah, we did Swampfest and then packed it up and then pinned it straight to New Orleans. It was cool. It was like Wasn't as much as riding stuff as we found, but it was just cool to check that off the list. That was actually the last. Well, I need Alaska, but Louisiana was the last state out of them all. So just need Alaska.
Whoa, you gonna fly there or you gonna drive there?
I mean, I don't have any plans of it anytime soon. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to go there, but that seems like a very expensive one. And
Yeah, that's far.
no, I won't be mad if that one's never jumped off. So that's all right.
Gonna hot whip over a grizzly bear.
Over a mountain or something.
So anywhere other than New Orleans, you guys well, okay, so you said you didn't ride a lot there, but to be there, so was there any like craziness going on in the city at that time?
So the week before was Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And we actually drove through it on the way there, and we were like, go. We're like, no, that looks like too much. We're already going to chaos right now. We don't need to see that chaos. So then on the way back, it was literally like just that place looked like a Tasmanian devil ran through it. Like it was like beads everywhere and just the aftermath of Mardi Gras. But it was like I was stoked on it. Like it was a different looking area than a lot of the country. Like very unique looking, the housing, all that stuff, and I stuff. So it was cool.
Huh. That's interesting. I wonder why why the I wonder if it's because it's below sea level or
The French Quarter and all that looks cool. Like all like all that sort of different style housing. So it was really cool.
that sounds cool. And then did you guys just book it back after that or stop anywhere else?
Yeah, we left New Orleans and then pinned it to San Antonio, stayed for the night in a $35 hotel, and then pinned it home. So it worked out. Yeah, it actually didn't feel that bad. No one got on each other's nerves. Everyone was fine. Like usually you picture being in like a band that long, like a couple like people getting on each other's nerves, and it was awesome. Like when we got back, I was like, damn, I could go another week. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was rad.
Did you get anything that you were stoked on filming wise?
I mean, Houston, I got a couple things, and then New Orleans, I'm like, I don't know, I'm very set up oriented, and that I'm not just gonna be able to, you're not gonna put a couple flat ledges in front of me, and I'm not gonna be able to fire stuff out. So there was just the younger guys, they really like took all of it.
And Andy Garcia on a flat ledge because
Riley too, he killed it. And Mills is he's getting close to 40. He's like 38, and he did a bunch of awesome stuff. He's so motivated and just loves being out and doing it. And Mills is awesome. He's definitely awesome.
That's sick. That's really cool to hear. I mean, were more people on that trip over 30 than were under 30?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know Phil's the main dude, and he's like mid 30s, and then Andy and Riley's 21, so he is the youngest, and then Grant C's our filmer, so it's just definitely a diverse crowd, but it works. It was awesome, and then there was supposed to be a few other people coming, like High Desert, but he had to drop out at the last minute, and Pat Frame, he was supposed to come too, so it was just a few people had to drop out at the last minute, but it ended up working out really awesome.
I'm glad to hear it worked out and it's good, and I'm stoked to see like the trip video or whatever it ends up actually being.
Yeah, it'll be like a short little 4-minute, 5-minute video of all like the best riding from it, so it'll be cool.
Hell yeah, that's rad. And that was for OSS.
Yeah. It was just the whole like lead up there. There's some cool vlogs and stuff if you check those out, like just kind of like the shenanigans that happened on the way, and we like blew out tires and semi trucks blasting by us, and just the usual road trip stuff. But it's entertaining, like everyone likes seeing the inside stories from a trip.
Oh yeah, and that blowout you guys had on the side of the road in like the middle of the country.
Yeah, Mills handled that like a champ. We were in the fast lane, and he's like, think the tire's gone out. And I'm in the passenger and I'm like, yeah, I think it is. And it was just like, like swerving and semi trucks and just, it was definitely one of those scary moments because you're just on the side of the freeway and they leave you enough room just to park your car and
Yeah.
trying to change a tire there. But Riley's the Northwest mechanic and he was under the vehicle, and Phil too. And yeah.
Yeah, it gets definitely freaky when you got those semis flying by you at 80 miles an hour. And
Yeah, but those are the experiences that make what a trip is, you know.
oh yeah, so what's like the craziest thing that you remember happening kind of like that on a road trip?
Oh man,
Or a crazy thing that might be crazier than that?
I was actually thinking of this one. It was Dennis Anderson just texted me. I don't know what he wants, but it's pretty funny. I remember we were on a Square One trip, and everyone was asleep, and Chris Bennett was driving, and I was sitting passenger, and I was like, must have been dreaming that we were going off the road or just like about to blast off the side of the road, and I woke up and grabbed the wheel and yanked it trying to save us. We were going straight and we should have been turning, but luckily Bennett had like a good handle like on the thing because I just grabbed it and just tried to start yanking at us, and I was like thank God, because I could have rolled that vehicle very easily.
Oh my god, that would have been a wild story.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been here to tell it.
No
Jesus.
kidding.
Yeah, seriously.
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad that he did have a good grip on it and you guys
Yeah,
didn't die.
like the middle of the night, and I'm just like, well, grab the wheel.
One of those like you're almost or you're just on the edge of sleep and wake up like fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, too. But
Yeah, that's pretty crazy for sure. That's
yeah,
definitely.
there's hundreds of them, hundreds of those stories, you know. So
All right, this is the second time that Greg Hunt has asked for a good story of ice money. So I guess I'm going to bring it up.
Greg Hunt is Ice Money, right? That's his name.
I know, maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's his name. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's Greg Hunt. Like, do you know who Ice Money is?
Are you going to crucify me if I say no?
No, not at all.
I don't, so educate me.
We'll leave it a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it a mystery. If you know who Ice Money is, you know who Ice Money is. Just leave it at that.
I feel like I've just heard Van say ice money.
Yeah, Van would know for sure. So yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Greg. No, but we've been talking, or before this, about that missed call that we had from the previous one of these that we did. And I feel like I remember from that conversation that we were talking about an injury that you were coming back from.
Maybe, I think it was maybe shoulder. Like I just landed flat and like pulled out my shoulder, but I didn't really know what was wrong with it, and it wouldn't get better. I saw this one doctor Rooftop referred me to, and he fixed it up in 3 visits, and I was like, whoa, all right.
For real? How does that happen?
I don't know.
That's why they're the doctor.
This guy, you go, it's up the street from me, and you'll go in there and you'll see like Nigel Houston and different people in there, and like he knows what he's doing. So
well, I'm glad to hear that, because I was going to ask like what the updates were. Obviously, you've been riding since then.
He goes, I'll have you better in 3 visits. Like before, I couldn't even lift my shoulder above. And I was just like putting it off. Like I was going through with some insurance stuff, and I was like, couldn't see like an actual doctor, but this one's pay as you go, just a physical therapist. And he's like, yeah, I'll have you better in 3 visits. 3 visits, I was good.
Damn.
So I don't know what it was, but he did. It did something.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I feel like I remember you saying something about the S&M welcome video not being like as much as you really wanted because of it.
Yeah, even that video, like I was like, so I got on S&M and I had my yellow bike, and it was just like I couldn't really like post anything or anything, and it was like a month, and I'm like, because if you're on a yellow bike, like automatically like it's gonna be like everyone knows, like usually S&M, you know what I mean? Kind of like, whatever, Charlie, I'll just get like 4 clips or whatever. Put it. And I was like, just put it out, you know. So it was like, I wish I could have went like a few months doing it, but it was only like literally a couple weekends. So
Yeah, but I rewatched that video again today, and that's such a fun video with like the Mueller skit.
yeah, Charlie killed that. Like Charlie's a genius, and he'll like make funny stuff. And it's like, yeah, because the like riding wise, it would have sucked with just those clips out. But like having Bowler and that little skit like made it funny, you know. So,
Yeah, it was very well done. I was entertained throughout the whole thing, and
yeah, thank.
yeah, and
But I was literally only like 5 clips, so it was just like whatever.
even so, that was like all it needed to be
Yeah.
enjoyable. Speaking of S&M though, it's been damn 2020 was when I saw that the news was posted up.
Was that 2020? Wow,
We did our thing in 2021. Yeah,
man.
if I type in Ryan Biz Jordan S&M, yeah, October 26th, 2020 was when the video came out.
All right, so at the end of 2020.
So 2.5 years now. How's things going?
Awesome. It's as sure as you know, welcome to the team as well. But yeah, so it's,
Thank you.
I don't know, it's the coolest, most legendary bike company ever, and I like everyone there, and it's just they're down the road, and it's been a dream since you were a kid to ride for S&M, and I'm same as with Doyle getting on, like he has that same feeling with it. It's such like a nostalgia brand, and you're like,
Mhm.
I still trip out looking down at my bike and seeing the logos on it and stuff, because it was such like a huge staple in my childhood, like growing up, and it's just cool to rep them and be a part of it, and that I was welcomed on.
Yeah, there's definitely like a legendary list of riders getting put there with you in 2020, then Doyle recently, Mark Patosny,
Yeah,
then even on the fit side, Corey Nastasio.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like that was my favorite. Like we were at an S&M party, and Melissa was like, she was like, man, we need Doyle on the team. We were hanging out, and I was like, yeah, we do. And then that next morning, I was like, I hit up Doyle. I was like, you want to ride for S&M? And he's like, what? What's going? How did this happen? Like how?
That's so
Like what's
sick.
going on? And like I filled him in, and then linked him to Charlie and stuff, and then it snowballed from there. And it's like I think it's been one of the best things ever. Like people love it. Like seriously love it. Like him coming together. It was like him coming together with S&M. It just like made perfect sense, and everyone loves it.
It broke the internet for a few days, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
sure. Yeah, like his like they had to do another rerun of his frames because they like became such well sellers, and people just want it. It's like people can relate to the brand and to Doyle, and to have those like together just made it perfect sense.
Oh yeah, that MOD Doyle frame that's like just been released in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's like it was a huge response for it.
Yeah. What frame are you riding right now?
I ride the Hoder BTM XL, like the bigger one that you ride. I just like how the bigger standover and whatnot. So
Mm.
it's literally like my favorite frame I've ever ridden. Like seriously, like not even just saying that. Like it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Is that the one? Is that the same frame that you started on in the yellow bike, or is
Yeah, yeah, same exact frame. I've been on the same one, like the same one. I've only had 2 frames so far, and it was the yellow one, and now I have a raw one. So
nice?
yeah,
Hell yeah. I was just curious. And then, which fork did you go with?
I ride Demolition forks.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Demolition. So I ride Peraz's forks, and like yeah, I ride S&M pedals and S&M frame and some other stuff, but mostly it's all Demolition stuff. Other than that, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask about some of that stuff because like, how long have you ridden for Demolition?
So it'd be it's 21 years now.
No, Demolition's that old?
Demolition started in 2000. and I got on in 2002. Yeah, so I
Whoa.
right around that time. Yeah, so
Damn, that is wild. I had no idea that they had been around that long.
yeah, volume started in '99, and then Demolition started in 2000. So yeah,
Dang. So what was the first like stuff that you were riding at Demolition? What were they making at that time?
really big stems and
Everyone made really big stems, okay?
like wheels, like front wheels that were 14 mil,
Yeah.
but it was drilled out to fit into the regular 3/8 axle slot. So you'd
Mm.
have like just a slot and it'd go in, and a
That
lot of
is
yeah. It was definitely a learning curve for a lot of companies those years. Just what stuff to make and how light and stuff was overbuilt, and yeah. So I
you
never
just
really,
taught me something. I had no idea that that's why those axles were slotted like that.
yeah. So it could fit into the regular forks. Yeah. So
Whoa.
yeah, yeah. So
That just blew my mind. So, Demolition for 21 years.
yeah.
Is that the
Yeah, yeah. As far as like the company I've been with the longest, yeah, that'd be it. So other than
jeez.
that, everything else comes and goes.
Yeah, I mean 21 years is a long time for anybody in BMX. There's probably not a lot of other that are too much longer than that.
Yeah, well, Nyquist Haro 97, which is crazy,
I
but
was 4.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. They've always treated me good, and I've been fortunate enough to work with them, and it's been cool. I've seen a lot of people come and go, like, but it's been,
Yeah, that's really awesome. Cool to see companies sticking with people for such lengths of time like that.
yep.
I actually had some of the first aftermarket parts that I bought were Demolition parts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the lime green stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, I bet. I don't know if that stuff sold so well, but you bought it, so it's all right.
I had my whole bike was decked out. Lime
Yeah.
green front rim and hub, the brakes, the seat, the rear hub.
Yeah, I think I had the pegs in lime green, but
Oh,
all I
that.
could, yeah.
So it was 2002 when you first became a pro, or was it before that?
Um, I became pro at end of 98,
End of
but
'98.
yeah, end of 98. But back then, pro meant like a lot of the times, like you'd enter a pro contest, and if you made finals, that meant like you would turn pro. So you'd sign. There'd be like 100 dudes in a dirt contest or something, and usually it was mostly like a lot of the times it was the same 12 always in every time. And then if you got into that 12, it kind of like you would turn pro. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
you were going to win money and you were with these other guys. And usually if you made it into those finals, you were going to pick up a sponsor real quick because there wasn't many dudes like sneaking in. So
Right.
yeah, like I had friends that like one guy, Adam Aloise, like he got in there, like then got like a Trek offer from one finals. Yeah, so it was just,
Wow.
yeah, it was definitely different times of turning pro and what it meant. Yeah, so
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask you about that because you've lived it and you've lived in these different times of it. Like, how different was being a pro back then versus today?
man, I mean, I guess it was just like it's all relative with the time, but people say it was way easier then, but I don't know. I think it was just as hard to break into it then as it is now. You know what I mean? Like it just if you had to battle through all those people to get into that spot. You know what I mean? You still had to be good enough to get in there.
Yeah.
Like the tricks weren't on the same level by any means, but at the time they were like the hot tricks, so you had to know those.
Right. I feel like that part's not really any
Yeah,
different because the level just elevates, and the ceiling, how close the level is to the ceiling of what people could even do
yeah.
probably isn't super different.
And for me to get even like noticed back then, I'd we'd drive to like Pittsburgh for a contest from Boston, and that was still like so I'm driving 17 hours to go to a contest, and then hopefully you do decent there. It isn't like you can do it from your home and post it online and so
Right. Yeah, that's wild to consider. And just looking at how, like, so, I mean, back then, what were they asking of you?
I mean, pretty for me, like, well, everyone was like pretty much contest results then. Like,
Yeah.
you had to like, even if you were even like, there was very select few that didn't go to contests, but yeah, it was all results, like pretty much all results that we went by, and then like maybe video projects were like in like a side thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Well, at least for the way it worked for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got sent to contest, you're expected to do good. So you know,
Yeah, that's so crazy because I feel like that's not even, I feel like you can pretty definitively say that way more professional riders today don't compete than do.
but yeah, and then you even go to that other side, the other world of it, all that vice stuff. It's the same thing. They're depending on contest results. You know what I mean? So it's just,
Mm-hmm.
but there's two different worlds of it now. Like back then, I think pretty much everyone what like rode in contests. Like even if you weren't a contest rider, you still kind of did it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, it seems like from the way you're talking about it that was how you did it, and there was probably very
Yeah,
few people who
and it was
didn't.
the easiest way to get noticed. You know what I mean? If you did good at that, so
Right. And it totally makes sense not having social media and only having these specific events that the people who would need to see you could.
yeah, it was different times, but different but similar. You know, so
Yeah, and then comparing that to like today for you, I mean,
I mean, like how I do stuff now.
yeah.
Yeah, I stopped doing contests a long time ago, so the video thing kind of took over. So and
Mm.
just I'm obviously not going to be able to put out as much content now because I'm older, but when I do, I'm stoked on it. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I feel like that's kind of just the way it is today, in that that's what people want to see. That's what gets the people who are excited to see your video stoked, is because it's you and you're proud of it and what you want it to be.
Yeah, it's still hard being older. You're like, damn, you question yourself way more, like way more. Like, is that good enough? And I'm like, did I do I need to like, should I post that? You know what I mean? Like, that's like, you definitely question yourself a lot more, and I've been trying to not do that as much, because I'll be like, nah, I can't post that, I can't post that, and then I'll be like, but then I'll do post it, and people get psyched on it, and I'm like, man, I shouldn't have stressed that so hard.
Yeah, but that's how you maintain like the quality of yourself, is
Yeah,
that you're hard on yourself so that you know that you're doing good stuff.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to be a little easier with it, though. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of these times these days, people just want to see you ride and see you having fun,
Yep.
like, and yeah,
Yeah, to hear you say that you get more tough on yourself is not confidence boosting for me, because I'm already like, I will do the trick 8 different times just to be
oh,
excited about it.
oh, same. And then I'll go home and watch it, and I'll be like, that was trash. And I'll just like won't even do anything with it.
My problem is that I'll do it, then I'll do it 8 more times, and then I'll go home and watch, and the first one is fine.
Yeah, I've done that multiple times.
I
Yeah,
think we all have.
yeah. We're all our worst critics, Everyone always says that, but
Oh yeah.
it's
So in this conversation of like talking about the comparison between pro back in 98 when you first turned pro to pro today, like what do you think makes someone a good pro today?
I mean, I mean, there's so many different levels of it. I think today, like, still, it's hard for me to comprehend. But I think for brand wise, it's just them. You have to be out there so much more, and putting yourself out there, and being relatable, and not just cookie cutter, and gotta have a little more something for something to draw people in. You know what I mean? Like it's besides your riding. So it just,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now that I think, yeah, I guess it is tougher. Yeah, because there's so many more aspects of it.
Yeah, at the same time though, it somewhat feels like when people are like authentic to themselves or they push what they're good at to a far enough extent and they do that long enough, that's when they start to kind of get recognized.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can see the people that aren't trying to force it either. Genuine loving it and,
Right.
and doing it.
Oh
So
yeah, and that's like obviously a little bit excluding the contest side of things because like the whole point of that is, you got to ride good enough to make finals and do well, and so it's
yeah,
it's a little bit different than just considering the video part rider. How weird is it that there's like Instagram riders?
yeah. That trips me out on dudes that can put out the most insane clip, put out a video part. Because even riding today with Andy, like Andy Garcia, he filmed a rail clip, and then right after that, he's filming an Instagram clip, and I'm because I have like it's hard for me. I have like to do it. It's just both of them are going to be hard for me. So it's just like I don't but he has these different levels, same as Riley and all these like most younger riders are like that these days. They just have these different levels of it. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like somewhat lucky in just doing this type of stuff that I do with YouTube, and that like I film everything, and then if I'm in the middle of something, I'm like, this is probably way too good to like put in a thing. I make sure that it's filmed well, and then I don't
yeah,
put it in the video, and it's saved.
and then at the same time, if you don't have anything to film for, like why are you going to save it anyways? You know what I mean? So it's if you're working on a project, I understand it, but a lot of people don't have that outlet or a company that they're like putting together a part for. So it's just what do you hold on to it for? Put it out.
Yeah, but at the same time, at least in my mindset, because I mean, I haven't always had companies to make videos for, so I've
Yeah.
literally just always
Well,
made
not
edits.
not everyone's as motivated as you,
I
and
I guess
you really take initiative and put out your own part. A lot of people, it's just like if you don't have someone behind you doing it, it's just you might as well, or their eyes, just put it out as opposed to saving it because they may not have the know how to edit it, or I don't know, That's
yeah, that's a good perspective to have on it. I guess you have to look at it through different lenses of things.
yeah. There's so many different levels of pro these days. Whatever makes you happy. It's
We're definitely trending towards that as a community in BMX of just people doing whatever they want to do and what makes them stoked.
yeah, it's come a long way. The guidelines are a little looser these days. If it makes you happy,
Yeah.
each is
Yeah, and when you turned pro in '98, did you ever think about how long you thought you'd be doing it?
no, not at all. Like I don't know. You're such an you're in the moment the whole time. Like
Mm.
you the whole time you're doing it, it's just like before you know it, 10 years goes by. Whoa, still traveling. I remember being like kind of got out of the dirt scene and like contests in like 2006. Well, just time to wrap it up. That was like 2006, and then it gone through so many different periods and stuff that just you find like new motivation to each one. It's like, oh man, all right, now I'm psyched again.
Yeah, you just having that thought in 2006 is almost 18 years old.
I know. That's like I was like, oh, what can I do? I can't like. It's a time when like everyone, all these crazy flip tricks were coming in and stuff like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't compete with this. So
Yeah. Yeah, but it's cool that BMX has evolved in a way that you don't have to.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's wild just to think about the longevity of things. Like, did you ever, or have you gotten to a point where you care more about eating or exercising or things like that?
I mean, I definitely try and eat better. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I try and eat better. I stretch a lot and stuff like that. But I think I got kind of lucky because if you look at my dad, he's like looks like this like chiseled machine that never really like never had to do anything. So I think I got good genes from him somehow, and like I've never like really felt horrible. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really lucky. That's the, what did Robbie call it in that truck
Oh,
driver video?
yeah,
Special strength.
yeah, that made me laugh. So
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, whenever I do these things with people, I always ask my buddy Sponge, who was the guy in the front of the U-Haul at Swampfest. I always ask him stuff to talk about. You look like
what
you wanted to say something.
me?
Yeah, you looked like you were wanting to say something.
What you all? Like what was it?
Whenever we were talking in front of the U-Haul there for a minute.
Oh, I can't remember.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My buddy Sponge, he was the one who was in that, and
Yeah.
when we were standing there talking, but I always ask him what if there's any cool stuff that I should bring up, and he actually brought up a really cool topic, and that is music and video parts, and how it seems like you kind of cared about music a little bit because one, you seemed like you're always wearing headphones while you were riding.
Yeah, I need that. I just need that distraction. I need that motivation. Like that didn't start till later on, like probably in my 30s.
Yeah.
Like yeah, right, yeah, I don't know, you just need that extra motivation and that's what did it for me. And I still buy these like these little iPad shuffle things, that the little square things.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I still buy I still buy those off of like eBay or whatever, and I find them for like $20 and those are like and I still have like a MacBook from like 2001 with all my old songs on it and I just load that up and it holds like 400 songs. And I just like do that and like yeah, it's different for different riding like and it's a lot of like video part songs like older video parts that people have like rode to and like I picture them and it gives me the motivation and like say like there'll be different music for lines or different music for like one-off things like if I have to do something crazy it's totally different than if I'm filming a line thing. Like a line thing might be something super mellow and like long and yeah it's I have like and I'll just skip through keep on skipping through until I find it. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Huh. Yeah, what's an example of something that'll get you hyped for like something one and done?
Something Van rode to, or like Martinez or something like that. And then for like a line, maybe like an Edwin song that he rode to. So it's like, yeah, mostly, yeah, it's a lot of riding songs. So just kind of like pictures me watching the video and how psyched that video got me. So, you know,
That's really cool.
yeah, it's always been that way. Like I've been on like, sometimes it dies like mid trying it. And I'm just like, I can't keep on filming because I don't have that.
Whoa, you trained your brain that much.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, or like if I'm kind of getting close, it'll be one song, and I'll just keep on restarting it and restarting it and restarting it and restarting it, and like yeah, and I'm like, fucking do it. I'm like Van did it to this, like just make yourself do it. You know what I mean? Like I'll use that like a lot. Like this isn't even not as gnarly as something Martinez did. And look what he did. Like, might as well make yourself do it. You know?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to your video parts, he brought up how you have a lot of classic rock in.
It's a lot of like I always like girl singers. So like I went with a lot of girl singers. Like most, I just always enjoyed that.
Was it for anything other than just your taste? And that's what you liked?
I don't know. I love the girl sound singing.
That's no, it's
Yeah.
totally fair. I'm just trying to get the insight
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. No particular. Just what sounded good to me. You know what I mean? Like to my ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so is the music in your video super important to you then?
To me, it is. Yeah. Like I'll hunt down for like I'll start out like as I'm filming for the part, and I'll even have the song pick, and I can like picture something I'm doing while filming. I'm like, okay, this works there.
Wow.
Like I understand this, or I'll even like be riding to the song that I chose, and I'm like, okay, I understand this, or like understand where something might fit in, or like it won't like work that way because it'll give me motivation to see that clip that needs to be in there.
Yeah, that's such a cool insight onto that. And that's like a totally different, deeper level of planning too.
It's a blessing and a curse
Oh,
because
I'm
then
sure.
I get so like into finding songs and stuff like that, and granted it's not the most like underground songs, but it's just I find ones that haven't been used, but it's just it works. That's like well, I don't know. That's like one of the funnest parts of it is finding a song. You know what I mean? Like I'll put in hours and hours just looking
Oh
for stuff.
yeah.
I don't know. It just makes the whole process. That's like part of the whole process, and it makes it fun.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and when you finally like, even for this upcoming like OSS video, like we have a full length coming out in like probably a month and a half or something, and like I went through. There was this one band, and I talked to some like Ryan Navazio, and he like who's a very good editor and
Mm-hmm.
video maker, and he gave me a suggestion for this band, and I went through 4 hours of it. The very last song that came up, I'm like, oh shoot, this is it. This works. Yeah. So I was driving, and the last song that came up, I'm like, oh damn, this is it.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Just you can kind of click. I know because I do a lot of lines, and then like a few one-off things, so you can just kind of piece it. Hey, that's my dog. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, so you can just kind of piece it together in your head. So when it clicks, it clicks. You know.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, being that I've, filmed and edited all of my videos, I know exactly the struggle because dude, sometimes it's just days and days of
Oh,
listening.
yeah, like it's you come across stuff. You're like, what is it? How is this even a song? Something like that. But when you do come across it, it's so cool because it's just part of the whole process.
Oh yeah, and like with the Lip Lords series, I kind of pigeonholed myself into a very, very specific vibe of the
Yeah,
song, regardless of the genre of it. It's a very specific vibe. So sometimes it, not sometimes, it always takes longer to find the song than it does to edit the entire thing.
yeah. I feel bad for the guys that have to deal with music clicks because that's a headache. Like trying to find
Yeah,
trying to find something good that's
yeah.
clear.
That's if you're gonna like sell it or you have to clear it. But these days with YouTube, I feel like just with a real edit that you're really putting time into, as long as it's not blocked in certain countries or blocked from being able to be watched, like I don't even care about clearing a song for an edit anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a few years ago, the 2013s to 2009, where everything was clear. Like,
Yeah, and it was just there. That was a period of time where the copyright stuff was a little less, or was a little more strict, to where there's so many bands that would just block your video outright from even being able to play online if you used
yeah,
their music.
yeah.
So, is it how important do you feel like songs for video parts are when you're watching them? Is it just yours personally that you care about, or do you care when
I,
for?
sometimes I'm like, is this only sound good to me? Because I'm like that's the thing too. Like, am I trusting myself and not the guy who's putting together the video? But I've always kind of been on good terms with the person making it. They're like, oh yeah, good suggestion. But sometimes I'm like, well, I like this. Will a 42, will a 22-year-old kid like this? It's just
Mm,
like sometimes I question how I feel about it. But yeah,
yeah.
everything like watching people's part, that's like a huge part of it. The song doesn't work with it, doesn't work.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you feel like there's certain genres of music that fit riding better in general?
I mean, it's different for everyone too. Like there's different people like say like okay, bring it up like Lewis Mills, his part that came out. I wouldn't necessarily listen to like that was like a club song or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But I thought that worked perfect, and
It
I like
did too.
that's not something I'm ever gonna listen to,
Yep.
like. But that worked so good with him, and I loved it. I loved it. I think it worked awesome.
Yep.
Like, so that just goes to show, like, you can tell, like, that's what he's into and that's his personality, and it worked, you know?
Yep. And then another example, kind of Charlie's song in the new video.
Yeah, that's fun. Like, me and Charlie talked about that, and I was like, Charlie, I'm like, taking away from your riding. Like, your riding is so good, and this is kind of like a, like, not as serious song. And he's like, nah, you'll get it. You'll get it. I was like, nah, dude, I ain't gonna get this. And then probably a week later, I'm like, yeah, I get it, Charlie. That was pretty awesome. That worked out. You know what I mean? And like,
And it actually did.
yeah, I know. And he's a video maker, and I'm not, so he knows what he's doing. And yeah, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like,
It's so funny, and for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about, you just have to watch S&M's Built Different video and see Charlie's part.
yeah, he 100% said that to me. He's like, yeah, you'll get it. Maybe not right now, maybe in a bit, but you'll understand.
That's so funny.
And it's just his personality, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
So.
Yep. I mean, in talking about video parts and stuff, and songs that go with riding, I watched Van's Holy Fit part again today, and just AC/DC. I don't know the name of the song, but for those about to rock,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the name or not, but that the way it goes with the riding, and when that song picks up at the end and gets super fast, and his riding just gets taken to the next level, is just perfect.
Yeah, that song's explosive, and his rap is explosive, so it just went.
Yeah.
I think that could be rap, be amazing, but that works so good.
Yeah, he almost has like a impossible standard to live up to with the songs going with his riding.
Oh yeah, he set the standard very high. Criminal mischief. He went from that Aussie stuff, so but cheers to him because he lived up to every part he's put out.
Oh yeah. Do you have a favorite video part?
A van
Just in general.
of myself.
You, and maybe if you have one of anybody else.
Oh man, favorite video. It's funny, like more of my favorite was like a video as a whole. Like there was like it had no parts, but it's called 1201, and it was one of Stu's first videos, and that had no parts. So that's probably my all-time favorite video. So yeah, but part would be so hard for me to pick out right now. But anything Taj put out was obviously I loved. So yeah, but it was a lot of like the older crew like scene videos where they like filmed all summer and they were visiting each area, and like that was a lot of like 90s videos, late 90s videos, early 2000s, was they were just filming all summer or whatever, and they'd put it all together. Be like, okay, Pittsburgh section, Fort Wayne, Indiana section, Boston section. So yeah, those are always my favorite.
There should be more of those that come out today.
Yeah, I love those. That was my all-time favorite because it would be a group of riders visiting each, filming it, their experiences they had there, putting it out.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Huh. Um, oh, I forgot a question about music. This might be a funny one here. So we talked about kind of like really good blends of music and riding. Can you think of an example of a video part that like could have had a better song that fit the riding better?
Oh man. um,
I'm trying to think. I know that it exists, but I can't think off the top of my head.
There's hundreds that exist.
The entire trap music era.
It depends, like, because that kind of stuff can work for certain people, you know.
It can.
Like,
Yes, it can.
Shoot, off the top of my head, I can't come up with any.
That's okay. We won't self-incriminate here.
Actually, no.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's just cool to think about the whole concept of music and how important it is to riding. And then I had no idea how important music was to just you actually riding.
Yeah, 100%. I need that. I need that. Like, and I'm usually one headphone in, one out, 'cause I still like to hear what's going on around me and hear my bike, but I still need the one in.
Right.
Do that a lot of the times, one in, one out.
Yeah, I used to listen to headphones every single time I rode, and then one of my buddies gave me crap for it one day and was like, dude, we just want to talk to you while we're riding with you.
Yeah, mine's only when filming.
Yeah.
Only when filming. Like, not if I'm just riding, that's usually not in, because you're usually hanging out talking to your buddies, like bullshitting. So yeah, it's usually just when I'm filming.
Which is pretty cool.
Need that extra motivation.
Get you in the zone.
Yeah, seriously.
Is there like one song that stands out the most in you that really helps you? Like, I'm looking for this song when I'm shuffling.
Yeah, like I said, it just depends on what I'm doing too. Like, like it depends if it's a line off. Like, yeah, I'll just. But I shoot, yeah, like I don't know. I have so many on there that just come up, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So each one works for like a different purpose. You know?
Yeah. Business music review.
It's I mean, it's a lot of mainstream stuff and a lot of stuff that's always been there.
Yeah.
I'm not discovering new music stuff that motivates me.
Feel that. But so to go back to the favorite stuff, do you have a favorite part of yours?
There was I really liked my headlights part of the stream. Like that was 4 years ago. I really liked that one. And then each one is for a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of them are shorter. Like a lot of the ones actually no. My favorite one, it's not online right now because it was on Vimeo, and I've been trying to have Mastroni send it to me. Me and Jason had a split, and it was when we were riding together a lot. Like he lived down the street, and that was one of my favorite parts. We were just like going back and forth, like, "Hey, I got a clip. You better get one, man." Like this, so the project can be ended, you know. Like, and we were just like testing each other and stuff, and it was awesome though. So that's one of my favorite because he was always one of my favorite riders. To share a part with him was like pretty sick in my eye. So, that one, and I've been trying to get Mastroni to get that off of his hard drive for a while. He's black.
Well, maybe this can be good motivation. Get it.
Yeah, I love that part. That came out like 2000.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I definitely would like to.
Yeah, as soon as I get it, I'll send it to
you. Once it's online, I'm sure it'll make the rounds like that.
No, it's nowhere to be found because
once it is though.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm offered to pay Mastroni to find it, so we'll see. Because that's what I did during COVID. I went through and found every single one of my video parts, like every one that I could, or trips that I've been on, like trip team videos, like, and I saved all those. So I have like a whole folder of them. Good. And that's like one of the main ones I'm missing. The only one I need. So other than that, I have them all.
Dang, yeah, it's really good because it sucks whenever something like Vital BMX goes away and every single thing that's uploaded on there that nobody ever bothered to keep anywhere else.
Yeah, that's what happened with Vimeo. Vimeo was like sent out emails saying you better save your stuff because it's getting deleted or something, and then saved it, so it's like everything got deleted.
Yeah, I always hear people talk about that, and then they talk about with like copyright stuff with Vimeo, and then just deleting
music, like the music being copyrighted on Vimeo, so then they just X'd out the whole video.
It's so crazy because I don't think I've ever had something get deleted from my old Vimeo page. It's all still there.
You might have responded to the email and saved your account or something.
Yeah, actually, maybe, I don't know. Either way, I'm glad that it's there And hopefully you get that video from Mastroni so we can get it posted up.
Trying someday.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's a busy guy too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it's not fun digging through 17 hard drives for one thing, you
Oh,
know.
God. Trust me. I know all about it. Literally, there's 4 or 5 in here, 4 in here. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. I can see at least 6 behind my computer.
Yeah, more than that too. Jeez. So
Yeah, it's insane. But you have to do it because, like, we keep talking about stuff getting deleted. Like, it sucks to have stuff get deleted, so you want to have it.
yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, I that's why I'm pretty psyched now to have like a solid database of all my parts. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, do you pay a lot of attention to like everything that goes on in the BMX world?
I mean as much as I can, like much as my brain allows me to. Like
Yeah.
it's funny because a lot of the times I'll be like, man, I don't even watch videos anymore, but I forget that I'm watching videos every day on Instagram. You know, you just don't have that same feel like you used to, like you're sitting at you're watching something, but no, I'm watching BMX every single day. But no, you don't think you are, but you are.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, like, do you have any thoughts on the current state of BMX?
I love it. Like it's better than ever. There's so many young riders I like. Like I met that dude a few months ago, Harrison at Kari. Is that what
Dude,
yeah.
freaking savage.
Yeah, like I met him a few months ago, and I don't know, he's like super young kid, and he's like one of my favorites to watch. And like, yeah, like Riley Smith, like he's 21. We're exactly half my age, and he's one of my favorite dudes, and like great to hang out with. So it's just, yeah, I I enjoy all of it. There's always bad parts of BMX. There always has been, you know, but I've always
Yeah,
you always look for the good parts of it, you know.
yeah. And actually, if we talk about, BMX 25 years ago versus today, it'd be an interesting conversation to think about some of the like things that have come and gone in the BMX world
Oh,
because I feel like that always happens. Things just come and go and
yeah, yeah. There was at one point in BMX you couldn't do a knack.
you
Like
couldn't do a knack knack?
no, if you did a knack, you were clowned on. It was like
No way.
yeah, you were like it was like get out of here, go home. This is like mid '90s. Yeah, if you did a knack, that was like dudes took it serious. Like it was like get out of here, leave the trails.
What the hell? Do they have nothing better to do or worry about?
Stricter times, it was different times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of tricks. Yeah, knack was the huge one though. If you did a knack, no, you get out of here, you leave. It was like banned. It was banned from BMX for a long time.
That's
Yeah.
honestly funny. What if Matt Cordova traveled back in time and did one of his knack knacks?
I mean, I'm sure. I well, BF even like back then did them like that kind of like Cordova, but it was just yeah, I guess because the knack became associated with motocross. Like motocross riders started doing it, and they were like Jeremy McGrath and these like bright leather uniforms, and it was like racers would do it at the track, and they're like bright neon uniforms. So it was just very like frowned upon.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The trick, yeah, trick was just banned for a long time,
No
and then it
doubt.
became cool again. It became one of the coolest tricks. So
Yeah, like right now. It's
yeah, yeah, for the past decade, it's been the coolest trick. But yeah, it was a big no for a long time.
geez, somebody said no after contest brawls after results like back in the day between Mira and Miron these days.
Yeah, those are savage vert riders too. Like very
Mm-hmm.
that's a different breed. Yeah,
Yep. People just go to Instagram and complain.
yeah, so yeah, it used to be crazy.
That's so wild. Was there ever any other examples of something that was like the knack knack?
Um, I mean, I guess it could be comparable to like even for a long time. I think it's toned down a bit, but people like landing on grass. You know what I mean? Or riding on grass like that was.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of mellowed up. I don't know. It depend. I no, I still think it's strict. I don't know, but
I feel like that one's one that's like people are,
it varies different from each obstacle. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, people are like not actually serious about it. But
yeah, I don't know. There's different crowds that different ways about it. There's it depends. It depends.
yeah, are there?
As far as tricks, I can't think too many other. No, like yeah, like even back then, backflips in general were really frowned upon. I think from the like a lot of East Coast trail riders, like you like doing a backflip wasn't very West Coast, you know.
Wild. I mean, even today, thinking about it, I feel like you don't see a lot of clips of people in the PA
Yeah,
trails doing backflips.
yeah, it's mostly when like Hucker visits there, and then he'll do the biggest one ever that people are. So.
Yeah. What about manuals to nowhere? Manual 180s to nowhere.
Yeah, that yeah. I don't know. I was never into that, but
That was a
people
trend.
it was a hot thing for a minute there. It was like quarter trick, like ding ding dong ding, and then manual down 180.
Yeah, it's too funny to think about some of the stuff that people have cared about throughout the years in those ways. Somebody's home. You're good.
Yeah,
Do we have a cutoff time here?
no,
Okay.
whatever you usually do. I'm
I
fine.
was just checking to see if maybe you had to go because of that, but no, I'm
No,
good. Yeah, and I feel like there's even tricks in the opposite way that are like people like love a lot that maybe aren't as crazy as the amount people love them.
like what one? Give me an example.
I have to think for a second.
So one people love, but isn't that?
That
That
isn't like as crazy as much as people love it. Like people will lose their minds over a really good tabletop, but
yeah,
then
but that's all style based. You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
with the rider. It doesn't. It's just like you're not gonna beat Aiken doing a tabletop or
No, you're
like
not.
or Bowen doing a or Bowen just doing a 360. Like it's just that's special gifts from those riders that can do those simple tricks, and they're the lucky ones.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Doyle can do like three tricks the rest of his life, and people love it. Like you can do Superman 3 invert and a 3 turn down, and it never gets old.
And it never will. And it's I think
Yeah,
that's part of what's beautiful about BMX too.
yeah, yeah. Those guys are lucky. Wish I had that.
Well, I mean, yours might just be somewhat more difficult as you get older. The people love seeing you do hop whips
Yeah, I hope
and your
so.
bar spins.
Yeah, I did. I do get stoked on that. That people enjoy my bar spins, and that feels really good.
Well, they're just
It's
so clean.
always been one of my favorite tricks, and I always take pride in doing it proper and whatnot. So it's just catching it good and whatnot. So yeah, that makes me feel good that people recognize that.
Oh yeah, dude. And then I mean, you've definitely got a solid list of achievements under your belt too.
Tried, tried.
Yeah. So I'm curious. We watched the Foof downwhip clip at Swampfest.
Yeah.
Did was that something that you like came up with or saw somebody try or had been working on for a long time before you filmed that one?
I've never seen anyone try it. I don't. I actually have no idea how it came up, but I knew I first started trying it was actually the day I did the truck in the parking lot that we talked
Mm.
about. But I tried it at that contest, but it was a very very small like bank to wedge, and it just wouldn't have worked out. And then Fast forward to Metro Jam, I think a few months later, and it just had the most steep bank and probably like 2 foot sub, and it just like worked for it. And like in a contest environment setting, it's so much easier to get things done like that too, you know?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's one of
Yeah,
those
but
things.
I don't remember ever seeing anyone try it before, or I think maybe Chris Bennett might have mentioned trying it to me or something like that. But yeah, I don't know where it came from, but it just kind of makes sense. I've only done it a couple times, and I've always wanted to do it again. So
That might be a battle. That's the trick.
yeah,
Seems like
but
it's just difficult.
I've always been with tricks too. Like a lot of times, I do it, and then I move on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I've never been that good at keeping up with stuff like that. You know?
When it's so like pushed so far and you're like trying so hard to get something like that, sometimes it's only meant to happen one time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good with like it's almost like I like Doyle. Like he had like every day for years double truck. Every time he rode double truck, and I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't never had that commitment level, which is why he did 1,000 times better in contests than me because he would do his stuff all the time, and most of those other guys would. And I'd only do them at contests. You know what I mean? Like my contest tricks, I did them at.
That
So,
that
yeah.
kind of makes it sicker though.
I don't know. I just couldn't get myself to be that disciplined.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. When's speaking of contests and stuff, when was the last time you did a 7?
Oh man, into phone pick count.
Oh, we're just
No,
doing a 7.
no, shoot, it's probably I can't remember.
Nice.
Not even remember. It's well over 15 years. Has to be. Yeah.
I feel like the 7s are the kind of trick that could get so crazy so fast if you don't just like do them consistently.
Well, the people they figured them out. Like you know what I mean. Like they figured out like standing up straight and like kind of like. But
Mm-hmm.
when I did sevens, it was 2 360s. You know what I mean? Like I stayed flat, and
Mm-hmm.
I was in the same position that I would do a regular 360. And so it was just more like probably I might pull this, but there's a good chance I might. It definitely had no consistency with it, a little bit, but not that.
Do you miss that about BMX when people were willing to just like huck it?
Yeah, because it definitely made it was you didn't know what was like
Oh yeah.
you'd see like Jay Maron drop in on vert and do like five pump walls like super high airs, and you're like, man, he's gonna go for it. And there's a good chance he never tried it before. So just that like surprise aspect of it, like that was amazing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like he didn't practice any of that shit. Like McCoy, like all those guys, it was just like we're here at the comp. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Those are yeah. Like I remember there was one contest, and I was like, man, I saw Taj. He was doing one-handed whips. I was like, man, I'm gonna try a one-handed whip, and just completely died. Like never tried it before ever in my life, and just as soon as the whip got halfway, took my hand off, bike stopped in front of me and just landed on it and rolled
Oh
on it, and it was didn't
god.
didn't work out good.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people left who are sending it like that. Morgan talked about it in the Unclicked he did recently, talking about himself just trying
Yeah.
tricks for the first time on Mega Ramp.
Oh man, yeah, and Morgan does a lot of like gaps too and stuff
Yep.
like that. I guess that's the closest thing you could get to it these days is like because you're not filling out some of the gaps he does. Like
Yeah.
even Battle at Hastings, I think he was trying some crazy alley oop split
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you can't feel that out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I guess you could say the stuff that goes on in the events at Swampfest to an extent is
yeah,
hucking it because people are for sure hucking it.
Yeah, true. I guess that those are obstacles that are built for it too. You know,
Mm-hmm. Kind of
like
forcing it.
yeah,
That dude, the one guy, man, I don't know how he kept going, but he was trying something on the vert wall and just kept floating away from it and just falling.
I, yeah. I remember seeing highlights of that. I was working at the booth, the OSS booth during that stuff, but I remember seeing highlights of that. Yeah, but
Oh, it
and
was.
then the other guy I saw the video of that was amazing was the bar gap to King Trail.
Oh, Jamie Thayer.
Yeah, that was so sick.
He's a hucker for sure.
But that looked so clean, grinded the whole rail.
Oh
That
yeah, I mean you could barely even call him a hucker because of how calculated everything he's
yeah.
doing is.
And I guess that the cult grind rail in and the flip in, like that was
Oh yeah.
that was just send it.
That dude's just got such a cool Swampfest saga going at this point.
And the dude's jumping off the top into the 6x6 little moat. Like I couldn't believe that. Like I
Oh,
didn't get
dude.
in person until like later in video, and I was like, oh my god, that thing is so narrow. Like, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, like the dude, watching that happen and not being able to see the water because of the people standing between where I was at and the water. And like the first guy, you're like, oh yeah, cool. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Then there's the dude who's wearing jeans and a shirt. And he's standing
Yeah,
up there.
like
Everyone's like, no, don't do
yeah,
it.
yeah, like an insane clown posse T-shirt. He's probably like a 12 pack of beer, and he's like, "This is it. I'm doing it."
Oh my god, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
that's some of the best people watching I've ever seen in my life. Is that event?
for real. I mean, I heard that it's not going to be at that same location or something or another. But
Yeah, that's what I heard too. They're getting another spot, so hopefully the owners of the next place will be as lenient as the ones at this event.
yeah, I think, I mean, from what I heard, I have absolutely no idea if it's truth or speculation or what, but I heard that the people who owned that place had another spot lined up too, so it might be like same owners.
Man, yeah, I'm still amazed that the owners are like dead. It
Well, I heard people saying that like the owner was one of the people who, when the band was playing and people were throwing fireworks, was one of the people out there with the horn like playing or going.
uh, then yeah, he's right in his environment then, so he's stoked. He brought the chaos to his backyard. That's all.
That's Florida, baby.
Different world.
It seriously is a different world, but God, I mean, how many Swamp Fests have you gone to at this point?
Just two. That was my second, and then one was 2021, 2020 maybe. Yeah, right around that.
Dude, such a good. I don't know. I just love going to Swamp Fest.
Yeah, Trey does an amazing job. I'm sure it's a lot more stress on him than what it looks like. It just all folds together perfectly. And yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to those guys for all the hard work they put in.
Seriously, I mean, that's so much work. They literally built a castle.
Oh yeah, Walt Disney would have been proud of that.
Yeah, Walt Disney was stoked in his grave, or isn't he like frozen or something? I
Yeah,
think.
cut off and froze it, and then once they figure out that technology, he'll be back.
Yeah, then he'll be able to watch Swamp Fest videos and get stoked.
Open up another one.
Oh Christ! So, who else are you riding for besides OSS, Demolition, and S&M?
That's that. Clay Brown pusher mail order, and he flew us out to his house last year. I mean, not that long ago, just to hang out and stuff. And he's awesome, and he's always supported me. We've done trips. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but Dennis rides for them.
Yeah.
Stuff. So like, yeah, we've had like some team trips, and it's been a minute since we've done a team trips, but flew out there to hang out with him. So yeah, that's pusher mail order and like pusher BMX shop, and then I did get shoes from Etnies, but Pova is not there anymore, so I don't even know who to talk to.
Oh yeah.
So, oh well, it was a good run.
Yeah. Is are those ramps that are in somebody's backyard up there? Is that the pusher guy?
Yeah, yeah. The spot stuff, yeah, that's in Clay's backyard, and yeah, he built all that, and he shreds them, and he's a lifelong BMXer, and he's one of the best dudes. He's rad.
Yeah. I mean, you can't run a shop like that or any of the other shops that are like that around the country and not be like down.
Yeah, he's yeah. Actually, my first Swamp Fest, he's like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he flew me out there, like just to
That's
hang out.
awesome.
Yeah, it was like so rad. So that's how to play.
Hell yeah. And uh on the lines of like sponsorship stuff, are your wheels still a thing or your back wheel still a thing with Demolition?
Yeah, I still have a signature hub through them. It's called the Rotator, and that's been out for like 13 years now, or something like that.
Wow.
So I've had that with them like right around the time Last Chance came out, that video. So came out around then. So yeah, they
That's
always they always update it and do that stuff. So I don't know what was going on inside that thing, but they do.
all you know is that it fakies when you need it to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yo, what a question. I never would have known about this. Somebody asked how your Huffy days were.
Oh, they were awesome because that was like mid senior year I got on them. Like that was through I flew out to a. So when I turned pro, like I was telling you earlier, like you weren't sponsored, but I made the pro finals, so I did
Mm-hmm.
that pro, and then I used that money. The money I won from that contest, I got seventh, and I used that money and I flew to California for the next contest in the series, and that one actually got rained out. So everyone that was supposed to be in the contest went to this local skate park in San Jose. Ended up riding there and like must impress the team manager, and there got me to ride Huffy, and then yeah, Huffy was getting paid in high school, and then got to
Wow.
go that summer. As soon as I graduated, I went on tour. It was at Walmart's in the Midwest. But it was like looking back, I don't know. I was so stoked at the time too. Looking back, it was like
Huh.
we'd set up ramps. It was for Pepsi because we were co-sponsored by Pepsi. So Pepsi was sold through Walmart or whatever, and they brought us in to do shows, and then but they wouldn't advertise it at all. So we'd set up and everything, and sometimes we'd be riding for like 2 or something like that. Like
Wow.
yeah, it was different times, but it was awesome though. It was just out on the road for a few months and no shows. I walk into my hotel room and Dave Fry is there, and I'm like, never really met him before, and I'm like, and that was like starstruck, and I'm about to go on tour with this dude, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
So
but those were good times, and then yeah, that was like the start of my sponsorship.
that's pretty wild that you say Huffy was your first paying
Yeah,
sponsor.
yeah, but at that time the team was crazy. It was like Ruben Alcantara was on, like
Yeah.
Arden, Imeth, like it was Nasty was on. It was just like it was a massive team. We're putting money into it. It was like pretty whack as a brand, but you got to travel for free, you got paid, you got to be around these amazing riders that I looked up to, you know. So it made it like a little cooler, you know, like
Yeah, and so what was the rest of BMX's perspective seeing that? Did they care?
I don't think anyone really cared. No one cared. No one gave it like you're gonna give Ruben shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You're gonna give,
right?
you're gonna say shit to Frymouth.
You
Like no
gonna
one.
say something to nasty?
Yeah, like no one cared, but no one was buying the product. You know what I mean? It wasn't like people were going out and buying aftermarket Huffy frames.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just cool as a whole. But yeah, it was what it was, and there was a lot of those deals. There was like dozens of them that people were doing. You know,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Were you riding any? Was Huffy like making any parts at that time? Was like,
I mean, I wrote a race frame. Like I wrote a frame and had Canal 11 frame because I wouldn't ride like Todd Lyons had a signature bike, but sorry, it was like it was really bad, and it was just something I wasn't into. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna ride this frame. So I wrote a race.
huh?
And if you see this thing now, like that down tube is it's the thickest thing you've ever seen, and the back end's almost as long as probably
Wow.
like looking back doing some of the moves that like we did on those, like it's called like
Some of that doesn't make any sense geometry wise with
no,
BMX throughout the years.
like my head tube was probably like a 73 and a half or something like that. 73 and a half head tube, over 14-inch back end, like a down to like this thick, like. But at the same time, I didn't know about geometry back then, so it was just like, don't ask, don't tell. You don't like, you just wrote it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear people talk about frames and geometry back in those days, it wasn't a consideration people talked about. It was like, oh, I'm riding this brand's frame or
Yeah,
this one. It wasn't. Yeah.
like the only concept of geometry I had back then, like, it was called a pro. Like, there was a Pro and a Pro XL.
Mm-hmm.
Pro was the shorter version, the Pro XL was the longer version. So it's just, when I was real young, I got the Pro. Then when I got a little longer, you got the Pro XL.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely different.
Yeah. And I mean, even today, though, riding the BTM XL, that's a pretty middle of the road frame geometry wise.
Yeah, what size top tube do you run?
21.
Yeah, see, like, ours are just the same, just different, probably different standovers.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I run 21 too, so that's the only difference.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna get the XL, and then I found out that the regular BTM was coming back into stock right then, and that was the one I was gonna get it originally.
Yeah, I just like the tall standover because your seat doesn't tall.
Yeah. Whoa. Did you have an animated Huffy sticker?
I missed that by the year. I know it. Yeah, but every team rider had, like, we gave them out at, like, the signings or whatever, but it was like a sticker like this big or something like that, and like Nasty's, like, he was like all cartoony sticking out of a lowrider truck. Like Ruben for some reason wanted a tail on his, so Ruben's rider had a tail. It's like, yeah, they were pretty funny. So I missed that by a year. And
oh my god, I found a picture of Nasty's.
Yeah. See it? So they were all kind of like that base. They were very cartoony.
Dude, BMX needs this again.
Yeah, like, it's funny. If you see Ruben's, he has a tail. Like, he just wanted a tail. Yeah, like, I wanted a tail, and then so they went bankrupt before I got to doing that stuff.
Dang. Oh my gosh. It's a freaking kangaroo tail.
Oh, you found Ruben's?
Yeah, dude, it's literally like a kangaroo.
Yeah. Funny, he just wanted a tail.
Dude, I want a sticker like this.
Yeah, he wanted a tail, so they gave him a tail.
That's too cool. Darn, it's a bummer you missed out on that.
I know. It would have been cool to get one of those.
You wouldn't have got a tail, would you?
No. Ruben already had that one, so
it was taken.
Maybe a lobster claw or some shit. Yeah.
Oh, a lobster claw.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I kind of want to design my own animated thing now, or have somebody else do it, because that is so cool.
Yeah, I wonder who the artist is who drew it. I
probably just have Poor Boy do it. To do one today. We talked about something like that, but oh wait, Eric Brozel?
That's the artist?
That's what someone just said.
Wow, that's amazing. Someone actually knew that, because I never did.
Oh, Salty BMXer, please send me pictures. He says he has all of them, he thinks.
Really?
I want to see pictures of the other ones.
Yeah, like Ardeline and Todd Lyons had one and stuff.
That's fucking.
Yeah, it's definitely different times.
Yeah, so
that's like stuff I could totally see Charlie do, you know what I mean? Like something he like would do, you know?
Well, that's kind of like the Fu Man, how they used to make different characters of that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of those stickers, and I literally just packed them today. They're above my computer, and there was like a Thanos one, a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, they look like South Park characters.
There was a couple South Park characters in there. Huh. So where did you move from Huffy?
Huffy, then I went to Volume. Like,
oh, okay.
Huffy went bankrupt, and Ardeline was on Huffy. So then he was in California, and he's like, "Hey, come out and stay." and then volume was just starting, and like we went out and rode street and stuff, and I got on volume from that point.
My buddy, my neighbor, the guy who actually got me into BMX, had a volume Ardeline frame.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he.
thing was, yeah.
Go ahead.
That was one of the first frames with like integrated.
Yeah, because it was just a flat tube that the
Yeah,
bearings went into.
it was one of the very like first.
It had a European bottom bracket,
Yep.
and he would call it the volume Adrenaline.
That's funny because when I first saw him in videos, that's how I pronounced it too.
No way! Really? I'm sitting here. I'm breaking my buddy's balls by saying that right now, and you're like, no, that's how I used to say
Yeah,
it.
I actually didn't know how to say it. Like I was like adrenaline. Yeah, like it was just. Yeah.
Huh. So you went to volume, and then was it Verde before S&M?
No, there's a lot. We'll get along. 1 second, I got to run and grab my charger real quick.
Oh yeah, you're good. Anybody, if you have any questions for Biz, hit him up. I regret selling my 1664 S&M bone saw frame. It had a cool Fu Man sticker on it. Yeah, that was like the thing. I packed those up. It's like I never stuck those on anything because I didn't. They're too cool. I want to just have the sticker to look at the sticker and not have to keep the thing it's stuck onto. Because that would be a bummer. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or questions, there's been some really good stuff in the chat today. Salty BMXer and Jason Taylor, everybody. Oh, we got a dog barking.
Oh yeah, so from
boom. Volume to what?
Oh yeah. So I was on Huffy, and Huffy went out of business, and then it's great. Yeah, because they went out of business, got on Volume, and then Volume was like a year, and then I was doing really good in contests, like really good, and then Schwinn hit me up, and it was like you can't turn down Schwinn money, you know what I mean? It was like too good, so rode for Schwinn. Another year, like less than a year, Schwinn goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
So then got off Schwinn, had a brief little time period of nothing, and then I was always good friends with the guy who ran DK and did all that button down. Doyle was on DK, I got on DK. I was on DK for 3 months. System Cycle starts distributing Fly. I never even heard of Fly. No one had in America. And they're like, System, who owned DK, was like, we're going to put you on Fly. And I was like, all right, I'm still dealing with the same people. Like, I still, like, everything was still the same. So then I was on Fly for a brief period. And that was probably like a few years. And then I left Fly and went back to Volume.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's quite the track record here. It's just like, but it all panned out the way it's supposed to. So then Volume, and then I left for Verde. I was like the older guy in Volume. Like, the younger guys were coming up, and I had an opportunity at Verde, and I was like, dude, do more with the younger guys, and then I got this opportunity over here. So I'll take this, and it just like worked out better for both of us,
Yeah.
And then after that, Verde just kind of fizzled. Like they just kind of like weren't doing anything. Like stuff wasn't so hot. And then, came out here with all the guys on the S&M Winds trip. Stayed in a hotel room up the street from me, and I went out with them every day. And Charlie's like, "Why don't you just ride for S&M?" I'm like, "Sounds awesome." That's how it happened. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So there's a bit of a list of sponsors in there.
You got a resume.
Yeah, but it all like a few of them bankrupt, a few of them it just was the time to move on and have to like no bad feelings or anything. It's just that happens with everything.
Right. Were you on Schwinn long enough to get one of those helmets?
Schwinn, what helmets?
Like a full face with your name on the back?
I wouldn't have ran a full face anyway. So
okay.
That was only like the Vert dudes. So like, which is funny. I think someone talked about this not too long ago. Like I was actually me and Van and Wismerski were actually on the race.
Oh,
It was a freestyle team, but since we were dirt riders for Schwinn, we were on the race team.
gotcha.
Yeah, so like it was like these list of racers, then us three, like, and a few other like dirt riders. But yeah,
Was Hollywood on the race team too? Where was he part of?
he might have just been a show rider. Like he might have just been on the freestyle. Like there was the show team. So I think,
Okay.
yeah, like he was a show dude.
Yeah, that guy. Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah, I've never met him. The only time I met him was Schwinn got me a hotel room or something, and he was, I forget what happened. Like they're like, okay, this other guy coming in and he's gonna stay the night. So I go to my hotel room. I'm asleep. Dude, Hollywood comes in. I'm like, all right. Didn't really talk to him. He passes out, and I think in the middle of the night, like I woke up and he was like in his sleep, like spitting on the walls or something like that. Like just like, and I was like, oh, shit, I don't know. I went back to bed, woke up, he was gone. That was my only interaction with him ever.
That's so crazy. He has always been such a savage and a really nice dude.
Yeah, I never met him like that. Only seen him walk in the hotel room. I was half asleep, woke up, spitting on the walls, gone in the. That was it. That was my interaction.
Wild.
Yeah, so that was about it. Yeah, but Schwinn didn't last long. But when
Yeah.
it did, it was awesome. It was like you weren't. It was like there's a plane ticket. Get on the plane. Go here. Someone picks you up. Go to the hotel. Like you weren't like it was such like a big corporation. They were just throwing out money left and right. That a puppet.
Yeah. I wonder what it takes for stump opportunities like that to come up again for people in BMX.
Shoot, I don't know. I mean, it's still around, kind of. The Red Bulls and the Rock stuff like that. Just there's not bike companies like that.
Right.
Just like the shoe companies, like well, there's only one, like Vans, but so very those things is awesome.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Huh. So, I've been curious all day thinking about this one. Just wondering, like, do you do anything outside of BMX for fun?
Um. Shoot.
Or is riding just it?
I mean, I don't have that much. Like, hang with the dog and the lady, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't never really like pedal the beach and do that stuff. And I mean, I love skateboarding, like, but I don't actually do it anymore. But
Mhm.
I skateboarding and doing all that. Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the simple things, hiking and that type of thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no, I'm not some crazy woodworker or some shit like some people. You know?
Yeah, I just wondered, and I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with BMX being like your whole life because
Yeah,
I don't have time for my other hobbies because I just want to ride my bike.
yeah. I mean, I love watching sports too. So,
Oh yeah, which sports?
you know, I'm football, but Brady just retired, so stuff's gonna get a little different. So
You're a diehard Brady fan.
yeah, I love him because we've been watching him. I've been watching him for like it was like 21 years, you know. So it's
So you
just
guys had like the same length career, except you're still going.
mine started before his actually. But
Oh,
he's
so
only
you have more longevity than
he
Tom Brady.
started well, I think a little a little better longevity. Yeah, but he was at the top of his game forever, and I've been holding on. So yeah, but yeah, ever since like him and Lonnie, the guy in the trails, they started the same season. So
Mm,
and then it was just always watching that was cool.
anything else, or is it just football?
Football, I don't know. Like Bruins are killing it this year, so Boston. Like when I don't know, I like it's good to like talk to your family about that stuff because sports are such a big thing back home in Boston. So I try to keep up with them and have shit to talk about. You know.
Yeah, but that's cool because I mean that's the type of stuff that makes you a person.
Yeah. So yeah, not yeah. I wish I was really good at something else, but no.
No, you don't need to be good at anything else when
Yeah.
you could ride bikes and you live in friggin' California.
It's been raining the past few weeks.
I heard about that. I saw somebody post like, "How is it still raining?"
It isn't as bad as people say. It'll be like compared to East Coast weather or something like that. It'll like a little bit on, a little bit off, and then like drizzle. But California never see rain.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it doesn't happen often. So they more.
yeah, it's like anywhere south of like the bottom of Ohio when it snows and people just can't. They lose their minds. The whole city shuts down.
Why? Because you guys get the lake effect up there in
Well,
Ohio.
I don't know that there's a line anywhere south of that line in the U.S. If it snows, people just they don't know how to function.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought those people would know how to deal with it more.
No, dude, when it snows in like North Carolina,
Oh yeah, that low. All right.
it shuts everything down.
Yeah, I bet.
So, what does like normal BMX life look like for you? Where and when? How often are you riding?
Shoot, every time's different. Like every Sunday is usually dedicated like OSS day, so we'll go out in the back.
Nice.
And then if I have time during the week or something, like I try to make parks or something. Whoever's around. So like yeah, like today was random. Today's a Thursday, and when all the guys we were at the Civic Center, you probably know that place.
Can you say it again? It cut out a little bit.
We went to Santa Ana Civic Center
Oh,
today.
okay.
Like you'd love it. It's like the brick banks, like that. Like as soon as you'd see it,
Oh, I think I've seen clips there.
yeah. So that place is still going, and then you can go there midweek, and then Grant was Jordan's in town from England, so Grant was filming him, so taking him to midweek spots. So yeah, and then yeah, this Saturday I judging a contest, one of those is it USL BMX? I think
Oh,
it
the
is.
USA BMX in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm judging that with Kaczynski, so I'm doing that. So yeah, so
That's pretty cool. Are you stoked for that?
yeah. I always love when the judging gigs come up. Like I've been doing X Games the past few years, and the Vans, whenever Vans have his contests, whether it be a street one or a bowl one, I've done those. So that's always a different aspect to it that I enjoy. It's stressful, but
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you thinking whenever you're watching, like, and trying to figure out how to judge somebody?
man, it's hard. Like it's like I even go through like the same things when you're sitting there at a contest just watching, you'll see something happen, you'll be like, oh damn, and then look over to your buddy and say that's cool or something. But when you're judging, you're like paying attention to everything, like and like focusing in on it, so you kind of see everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
way different. Like even yeah, from when I'm watching to when I'm judging, it's way different. But it's tough. It doesn't get easy. Like I regret saying yes every time I do it. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And I feel like and this is a conversation I've had a lot with people about contests and the way that they happen and everything. I feel like the format for judging somewhat has like lent to contests getting to where they are.
It it depends on the style contest too, because the Vans one this year is like totally different than
Yeah,
judging.
that's way
That's
different.
totally different than judging in X Games, and then judging like those Feist ones. I've never done one of those, but that's 1,000 times different than judging in the other ones. You know, it's like
Yeah, fans. The Waffle Cup is that what you're talking about?
yeah. So
The
that one you can be a little more loose. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Like mess ups don't count as much, but
yeah.
the other ones it has to be like a flawless run. You know, so
Oh yeah, and I mean, from my perspective, I feel like the Waffle Cup was like the perfect way to run a contest where you can throw everybody in the same course and have it be okay.
yeah, like even like the top three this year, like you go from like first was Kevin Peraza, then you go next was Johnny Rakis,
Yeah.
and then third was Colin Varanek. Like such different like riding all around, but they all have a place
Yep.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I didn't know that you were judging contests like that. That's really cool.
For a long time, and then like it ended a little bit ago. But Hot Wheels had a whole like we'd had
The
like
junior series.
yeah, we had like 7 stops a year, so I'd be gone like all the time doing those. But those kind of those ended like last year, so I was always doing those on the road, and those are fun. Like just to see the new young kids. Like I saw that kid Caden, the kid on Fit,
Mm-hmm.
seen him when he was like, I think he could ride before he could talk, and he was like killing it. Like yeah, I mean he like couldn't barely form a sentence, but because he was so young, just messing. But yeah, that's how young he was. But
Yeah, that kid's incredible.
yeah, and he'd be at every stop, and it was just like I seen him progress and come up where it was, and so those ones are cool. Yeah, and I think that's how this one is this weekend. It's all ages. And
Yep. Is this the first USA BMX
yeah,
one that you've done?
yeah, this is the first one I've done for them.
They are really cool. It's got all of those age groups, and then it's kind of giving a path for the contest style rider who wants to try and go somewhere with things.
Yeah, it's cool. Like there isn't for like the younger kids or amateurs to have a series, so this is a good one for them to get. Do you know how it works? If you get like the top class, do they get to go to the other main contest, like the pro one? I wonder. This is stuff I probably know, but
So I think that's the goal, is to get it to the point where like, oh, you win the open or whatever the top level class is,
yeah,
that because this is what we talked about originally in the whole entire thing, because I was like somewhat part of the conversation before those actually started, and
yeah,
just talked about how they wanted to start giving a blueprint and then get it to the point where they could, establish relationships for people who win in like local communities, because there's sometimes grants in local communities that can help you with travel and things like that, and
yeah.
then connections to companies. So we've seen a few of the people who've done well at those contests get hooked up by like Free Agent or Hyper or something.
Well, that's cool. They get a free flight to go somewhere. Awesome.
Yeah, and then this year they're starting to do an AM jam, like a just a jam the
Yeah,
Friday before the event, that where anybody who's there, not just people who are riding in the contest, can participate in the jam, and they're like tossing out money and prizes and stuff just like a normal jam.
Brad. Oh yeah. Well, I'm stoked for that. Hang out with kids. That's cool.
Yeah,
He's
that
one,
is pretty
he's one
sweet.
of the other judges, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that you're working on a part for the OSS full length. Do you have any other projects going on?
As of right now, no. Like the video is just finished, and we'll have like premiere. Hopefully like within the month, like in a month, the premiere. That's a
Nice.
full, and like everyone has parts like uh, High Desert, Ryan Mills, a few others that I'm leaving out. But yeah, so it's full length video and it's pretty.
Did you already film your banger?
Yeah, yeah, my part's done. It's all wrapped up. So
Hell yeah.
I'm stoked on it. Like I never thought I'd put out another part again since Headlights, which was like 4 years. We slowly got into filming this, and then just started stacking stuff, and I don't know. I'm happy the way it came out. It's not the longest part, but I'm gonna be.
Awesome, man. That's super sick. Uh,
Then after that, just riding, trying to keep up the skills.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. I don't want to keep you too long here, but that was the end of everything I had going on. Uh,
But yeah, that works for me.
yeah. So, was there anything else you're stoked for coming up in the future? Anything you'd want to talk about or point people to?
Just this video. I'm just stoked for people to see it. Been working on it like I came in a little after the project, but guys have been busting their ass on it too. So just for everyone to see that, and then have an actual premiere like at a theater. It's gonna be awesome. Like,
Dude, there's nothing better than that.
yeah, it's so much fun, and just to get everyone together and come out and have a good time like that. So that's the next big thing. Yeah, be stoked on.
Is Adam still in charge of OSS and all that?
Yeah. Phil's the main dude. Like Adam like owns it, obviously. Phil's Phil like all his puts in a lot of hard work and good with the team and everything like that. And I help Phil out with events and whatnot and stuff like that. And then so Adam's still fully tuned into BMX. Still he knows what's going on, like looks at everything. He'll send us videos and be like, "Oh shit, you see this kid?" And I'm like, "I don't know who that kid is." Like, yeah, so it's rad though. Like he's definitely stoked on it and invested in it.
I think that's really cool to see with someone he's wildly successful in a realm that's totally outside and beyond BMX, and he could just leave it to the side and never do anything with it again, and he's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's stoked on what we're doing, and it's cool. So
Yeah.
it should be out hopefully within a month, but you know how that stuff goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
last thing I just thought of, is there, because you said you like somewhat try to pay attention to what's going on, is there anybody who's like up and coming or anything that you're paying attention to?
yeah, like I said earlier, that the kid Harrison, like
I think he's arrived at this point.
Is it really?
He's just incredible. Yeah.
I love that kid. I love his riding. I love the little kid from Japan. That kid is insane. Like how smooth he is. What's his? You know what I'm talking about? The little
There's a couple.
Well, the little 11-year-old kid that does, he's like street rider kid, like 180 bars and like super smooth and crank flips and stuff.
AOU BMX.
I don't know, Suski or something his name is, or something, Soski or something.
This kid's doing flip whips, so he's not.
Oh, this is like a street kid that's like steez. Like he has like good style and shit.
There's Showa.
Maybe that kid. Might be that kid. I don't know.
Well, this one, he's doing flips and bars. And well, there's a rail ride to bar picture in here.
No, this kid does like, he does like full cabs on the ground and manual 180 bars, and he's like,
oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
He's like way too little to be able to do that stuff and look good.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that kid, and like I don't know, I'm impressed every time I open up Instagram. Like you know what I mean? Like it's hard to like I clicked on something today and I saw this dude just do like the best manual to like 180 down whips into a wedge, like in 2 different styles, and like
crazy.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that I'm proud to do.
Yeah. So where can people find you on the internet?
Just biz_Jordan. Yeah, that's what it is on Instagram. That's about all I use. So that's about it.
And the video, will it be, do you know if it's going to be sold or just go up or what?
We'll print some for people to have at the premiere, I think, but it'll be on YouTube. So cool. It'll be free on YouTube. I'm 90% sure. Yes.
Nice. Well, hell yeah, man. I appreciate your time in doing this, and I'm stoked for next time we get to run into each other.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to ride next time.
Oh yeah, come to California. Get out of that cold Ohio.
It's on the schedule. We've been talking about a couple different things potentially to do out there. Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. Thanks, Brant. Appreciate it, man.
Yes.